2002 Ford Crown Victoria 4.6 V8. Guess what we're doing? If you said intake gaskets, you're correct. So this is the factory style intake manifold for a Crown Victoria. Notice it's all plastic. So they make an upgraded intake manifold that has an aluminum crossover for the coolant pipe right here and the thermostat neck. Those old ones were prone to leaking and cracking due to the heat, so the upgraded part is aluminum now. I just thought I'd share because most of these have already been done by now, and it's not every day that you get to pull the factory intake off one of these and fix the issue that they had. Dad also found a spark plug up under the intake.
Does that mean it's a non-cylinder?
Just showing that it has had a tune-up at some point in its life. And there's openings at the front and back, so they probably just dropped the plug and it went plink plink right down in there to the valley. But besides that, bunch of grimy stuff. We're gonna vacuum all this out, blow the cylinders clean, throw the new intake manifold on there with the aluminum crossover pipe, and put another Panther body back on the road. This guy made it to 149,000 miles on its original intake. Like I said, it used to be all the time you got to do these, but with the Panther platform dead and Ford no longer making them, you don't see a whole lot of them anymore. But anyway, when was the last time you've done a 4.6 intake? Let me know. Will you show the new one before putting it on? Sure. Pop her open there. This is your new intake manifold, complete with instructions. This is the coolant crossover pipe that I was mentioning. On the old one, all of this is plastic, and this is prone to cracking and leaking. Now, our leak was actually cracked back here on the passenger side rear corner, but once again, the new intake manifold, complete unit, upgraded crossover pipe, mint, no more leaks. We'll compare it to the old one. And gaskets, thermostat, and bolt hardware. And here's the old one again, just for comparison, on the plastic crossover pipe on the front. Virtually identical intakes, other than that one's just a upgraded part, and once again, aluminum crossover pipe. Much better. But normally all of these have been done. It's very rare you come across a 4.6 in any Panther platform or truck, Expedition, whatever, that has not already had the intake replaced, usually because of how bad these were to crack. So, made in the USA. All right, let's get it all buttoned back up. Okay, so I've got my owner's manual for my 05 Ford Crown Victoria, and I was trying to figure out how to get the clock spring and stuff out. And it wanted you to rotate the wheel, but the key was locked and it wouldn't turn, and I needed to rotate the wheel. So I rotated the whole wheel, and I still can't get the clock spring out. It's still stuck. So I'm trying to figure out my next approach for this. All right. First one in the shop this morning, 04 Ford Explorer with the 4-liter V6. Claims it's not charging. Get in here to the hood. Oh, and the shocks are no good. Go figure. Hang on. Got my Snap-on Universal 3/8 hood prop. And now we can get in here to check on this alternator issue. So over here, I've got a vintage. I say vintage. It's pushing 20 years old now. One of the Medtronics Micro 500s. We're going to use to test the alternator, but first, Mr. Patina and Politics himself in the flesh. How are we doing, Mr. Dillon?
Pretty good. I've had my coffee already.
Awesome. You don't drink coffee?
Yes, I do.
Since when?
Since my 2-month-old gets me up at 5 o'clock every morning.
So anyway, as I was saying before Mr. Dillon showed up, we're going to take and plug all this crap in. Now, there's much more modern ways to do this, but this is how the pioneers did it, so that's how we're going to do it. Choose test in vehicle. Yep. Select input. Cold cranking amps is 850. Testing. Surface charge detected. Turn headlights on. Headlights on detected. Turn headlights off. Headlights off detected. Resting cold cranking amps. Replace battery. Prepare for starter test. Oh, shoot, gotta get keys. Alright, we got our key. Press enter for starter test. Start engine. Crank volts 11.5. Press enter for charging test. Alternator voltage 12.3. Testing for charging voltage. Diesel engine. Charging system problem. No charging voltage. And there you have it. Diode ripple not detected. Charging system problem. So even though our dummy gauge up here thinks everything's fine, it is not. And I already knew it was the alternator, but I just wanted to show you guys how that old stuff works. Pretty neat, huh? Now, this is an old Explorer, and the guy ain't got a lot of money to spend on it, so he elected to put a used alternator on it, and that's fine by me. So now let's make another TikTok and change this alternator out for him, shall we? Alright, so starting off on this Ford Explorer, we're gonna knock our battery terminal loose, get that corroded nasty thing off of there. Fantastic, fantastic. Over here on our alternator, let's see, like a 10, maybe a 13, and then one electrical connector on the back. Alright, so I'm gonna hit the wiring harness from the back of the alternator, put it over there, knock all these loose. I already did. They put that airbox in a bad spot, don't they? But anyway, you can go ahead and get these front two out like this, and then once you do, we'll pull in here and we'll get this belt off with the one bolt that's left. So I got a fancy tool for this, but down here on the tensioner pulley, there's a spot right there where you can put a 3/8 headed ratchet down in there to rotate the tensioner. Well, we're going to use this bad boy with the 3/8 adapter. I'm going through this double-ended, it's like a gear wrench, if I can do it. Yeah, and then this is going to go down in here. The squirrels on my roof are going nuts. And then this connects into this end. Alright, so our belt's off now down there. I'm just going to walk this last bolt out by hand because I don't feel like going to the back of the shop and getting the little 3/8 stubby. And I'm almost there. Ta-da! And we'll take this one the rest of the way out. Boom. Save your little bracket. And here is your dead alternator. It can go into the pile of all the others. So my used alternator is still connected to the bracket, so we will remove it from this bracket, which they've got the bolts backwards from what this one was. Got our new alternator sitting down in here. Gonna start all 3 bolts, and then we'll go tighten them down. Alright, little wire thing's back on, hot's on, our wiring harness is plugged in. Now let's slip this belt back on. Our belt and everything's back on. This cover was just sort of chilling there like that. Battery terminal. Now we're gonna test again. $14.39, $14.42. Now we can do a load test. And she passed. Back in her hole she goes. Customer can come pick it up. On to the next car. And good morning, everyone on TikTok. It's a Monday, and in typical Monday fashion, our Lincoln Navigator decided it wanted to be the first person in our shop this morning for repairs. This thing features a 5.4 Triton V8, and it had a horrible misfire. It wouldn't idle very well, flashing check engine light. Drivability was crap on it. I ran the codes. I came up with a bunch of cam sensor codes, engine misfires, all of which located on the passenger side cylinder head. Now, these 5.4 Tritons have technically like variable valve timing. Yes, it's almost like VTEC, but better. And these things have sensors for those, or solenoids I should say, located right here behind the oil filler cap. One on this side and one on this side. Where is it at? Where's it at? There it is, right there, this guy. And these things can get stuck, and then they'll cause all kinds of problems. So you hook a wire to one side of that terminal, preferably the blue and orange side. You ground it, start the vehicle up, rev it one time, unhook it, and if that fixes your problem, you got a bad solenoid. And that's what was wrong with her. Are you ready, kids? It's all back together. Scrub my grubby paws. Got the keys. So let's see if it worked. Check out the automatic steps. Woo, fancy. Key in, on, start. Oh, it started. And warning lights are all going out, except for seatbelt. Let me buckle up. No codes popping up over here. That's a good sign. Let's drive it. All right, let's get it out of the parking lot. It went into drive. Oh, it shifted once. Let's get it to speed. All right, here we go, pulling out onto the road. First gear, second gear, third gear. Oh, we got a low tire light, that's okay. Fourth gear. Oh, it's shifting! Yeah! Oh yeah, it's shifting great. Interior crocodile alligator. We just fixed my Lincoln Navigator. Ha ha! All right, guys.